there's so much going on, but what I did not take a break from was watching and being on Twitter and following each WNBA team, trying to figure out who the heck they're going to hire in these head coaching positions, because they done fired everybody from Timbuktu.
I know, right?
Okay. So, but I am a little disappointed.
Yeah.
I am very disappointed. Very disappointed because I am tired of these men taking our women jobs. Women jobs. You know what I'm saying? If we want to put it that way. I am looking now, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I'm looking at this correctly, there are 5 men head coaches, right? And there's only 13 teams, right? So no, 6. Sorry, 6. There are 6 men head coaches, in which you add on the Valkyries, which makes it 13, which is a woman coach. Okay, yes, you got 7 women, 6 men. But if the Valkyries was not in the play, it would be half and half. It would be 12 and 12. And I just think that is ridiculous to have half our women's league being led by men's coaches. Not to say men can't coach, whatever. I just think that representation is important in a league like this. I mean, I'm gonna stop talking there. What are your thoughts about this?
I agree with you. I think there are 2 things that concern me about this. And the first is that, like, for me, it's more that so many women were replaced by men this season. There's a lot of that. I think what we got for Chicago Sky, Teresa Weatherspoon was replaced by Tyler Marsh. I mean, no shade to Tyler Marsh. He comes from the Aces.
Love Tyler Marsh. Love him.
And then we've got the Atlanta Dream. Tanisha Wright was replaced also by a man, Carl Smesko.
Who is that?
I don't know. I didn't look him up.
Exactly. Not important. Does not represent Atlanta. If you know what I mean.
We've got Latricia Trammell, who I called Patricia in our last episode a number of times.
Oh, you did? I didn't even catch it. It's Love.
It's definitely Love.
Okay, she's from Oklahoma.
Replaced by Chris Cocklanes. So, and the list goes on. I think what concerns me is that so many women were replaced by men. I don't think it's necessarily, I mean, to your point, like, it's not to say men can't coach women's basketball. We've seen men do it over and over again and do it well. I think what bothers me about it is that we don't see that same distribution in professional men's sports. So what's happening then is that the opportunities appear to be taken away from women, and those same opportunities on the other side are not being granted. So it just appears that, like, it's like a sort of a wipeout almost, where it's like, it's not like those women can just go coach in the NBA. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, because we've still not seen that.
Right. And all of these men can probably go coach in the NBA as assistant coaches and can be future head coaches in the NBA. Let's just be honest. Right. But like, Teresa Witherspoon can't go coach in the NBA. She probably can't even, it'd probably be hard for her to get a video coordinator job in the NBA. You know what I mean? And so that's just what I'm upset. And then we're not even talking about Noelle Quinn. We talked about, you know, the Storm being in all kind of cahoots and everything, but she might lose her job after this investigation. And will she be replaced with a man? And will it be even, you know, or will it be you know, will it not be even where the men are 7 and the women are 6? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just shocked right now. Like, literally, if you look at this, the only returning coaches right now is Becky Hammond from the Aces. Okay. The Australian coach, from the New York Liberty, Coach Sandy, and the Minnesota Lynx, Coach Cheryl. Those three are the only three women that are returning with their same team. Everybody else is new.
Yeah, and I think that's what bothers me
Noel
about it,
Quinn,
because it's like we got
crazy.
all this great attention this past year, and it just feels like now that there's money to be made, it's like let's give it to the men. Like personally, I don't think any of these jobs are like necessarily men's jobs or women's jobs, because I hate that women's sports or women's basketball is the only place that women really get to coach basketball. I hate that. You know what I mean? Although I have in my time seen women coach men's high school. I feel like we've seen that a little bit more. But I just feel like if there's an inequity, like, so make it fair then.
Definitely.
So then open up some opportunities. You know what I mean? That I want to see some NBA. I want to see a woman head coach in the NBA then very, very soon.
Very soon. Very soon. And there needs to be more women GMs in the NBA. Because guess what? If you look at this, right, I think there's an alignment here. And here's a prediction. If you look at this, the Aces has a woman GM, right? So they have a woman head coach. Who did Dallas just hire as the GM? Head of all that management? Kurt Miller, the previous LA Sparks head coach, who is a what? Male. So guess who he puts in the seat? A male coach. Dallas hadn't had a male coach. I think this is the first male coach Dallas has ever had. But guess what? They hired a male GM. Hey, Connecticut has a male GM. So who do they have now in that seat? A male head coach.
That's an interesting
I
correlation.
Think there is something to it.
It's an interesting correlation. Of course, correlation is not always causation, but there is, something to be said about that.
Correct. And I just, there is something to it. I do believe. And so we as women got to, not to get into all business side so much, but we need to get into those positions, those GM positions, so that we can have a little more control of those head coach positions. It's just something different. What about you, Mick? Hooping, growing up playing basketball, did you ever have a male coach? I know when I had a male coach, it was a different game. It was a different ball game. There were some things I was comfortable saying, some things I wasn't. But with a female coach, I just felt like I played better. And that's just my preference, right? I'm not saying every woman plays better, but I played better when there was a female coach as the head.
Yeah. The coach of our high school girls basketball team was a man. And Rodney Fisher, a white man at that, coaching urban basketball, and had been coaching for that team for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, and ran a very successful basketball organization. So for me, it's not necessarily odd, right? I just think it's the inequity, like I said, that bothers me. I don't think. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I don't know if I think that there was in middle school, our basketball coach was a woman. You know what I mean? But I don't think and ironically, in high school, the coach of the boys team was a woman. So, yeah. So, wait, am I right about that? No, that was middle school that the coach of the boys team was a woman. In high school, the coach of the boys team was a man. But yeah, I don't know if I ever thought about it I'm not as comfortable or more comfortable this way, because all the assistant coaches were basically women.
Okay, that helps. That definitely helps.
So I don't know if I ever really thought about it like that. But yeah, it's the inequity for me. How are we? Somebody should be appalled by that we took how many jobs away from women, you know what I mean, without those opportunities existing somewhere else for them.
Right. And then the women having only 1 year contracts, not even giving these women, like none of these women were on staff for more than 3 years. None of them. None of them.
Right.
So, I mean, Latricia was on staff for 2. Teresa Witherspoon was on staff for 1. I think the Atlanta was on staff for at least 2. Right, she was on staff 2 or maybe 3.
2.
3 years.
For 2 for sure.
But yeah. So, but anyways, next topic. But
I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see if the men get more of a chance than the women got as well. Like that, some of them better be one and done too. Like if they don't have winning seasons,
playoffs, all that, produce all that, then they need to be out of here too. So, but I hope to see. I mean, it's gonna suck not to see Teresa Witherspoon as a head coach, because that storyline was so much in the WNBA. Teresa Witherspoon back coaching, and then every time she went back to New York or every time she played against Becky Hammond, they made that story. And the W was successful this year because of those stories, right? Those comeback stories. So we need those WNBA former players coaching. Like that's what I
think that's a good point too. Like we're losing a lot of storylines by not having that, and then that's really a lot of what makes it interesting.
These women don't know these male coaches.
Do you think that that part of the reason this is happening is to try to get more men to watch the W? Because I'm thinking about it like women, we like more of a storyline, right? Women are the ones who are really watching women's sports, right? The ones who are really watching the W. So for us, those storylines matter. As women, we like our heart into it. We want to, we want to feel the story. I wonder if bringing more male head coaches in some way is an effort to get more men to watch basketball. I don't think it's going to work. But I wonder if that's part of it.
It's not. That would be crazy. That would be crazy because that tells you, like, that says a lot about women, what you think about women coaches, right? We're not better than the male coach, or we can't elevate the game to an NBA caliber, league, right? Like all these things, like this is why representation is important. We are at the cusp of the WNBA franchise being $1 billion franchise, league, all these things, getting higher pay, all these things. And you don't want in the history books, I don't want in the history books, it's because the WNBA, got male coaches. Yeah. No, I don't want them to give no reason of no involvement with we needed male coaches in order to elevate the game. Like, I could see that storyline coming a mile away now that you said that. I don't want that.
Yeah.